Many of you know this is Mayor Eric Adams, New York City, and he has been getting an influx of migrants that have been shipped in from other states into New York, and the problem has really gotten out of hand. And Chicago is dealing with the same thing. Well, he recently reached out to the Biden administration for help. He wanted $1 billion to deal with the influx of migrants that's constantly coming in there. And the Biden administration pretty much told him no. But I bet you if Zelensky picks up the phone and needs $1 billion for Ukraine, Joe Biden won't be able to get it there fast enough. Do you see the difference? Now, this is a Democratic city asking a Democratic Biden administration for help, and they pretty much gave him the cold shoulder. So let's get into this story. White House won't commit $1 billion to border city, New York, after Eric Adams pleas. The White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, won't commit to meeting. Wow. Didn't they meet with Zelensky like a week ago? Okay. So won't commit to meeting a New York City Mayor Eric Adams' request for $1 billion to handle the migrant influx into the city while seeming to acknowledge that the Big Apple has become a border city after record breaking illegal border crossings. Jean Pierre name dropped Adam at her regular press briefing, noting that he has been critical of us before touting a new parole program to facilitate an unlawful 30,000 migrants per month from four countries. Yeah, I heard a lot of them are from Venezuela, you know? So it's a bid to reduce illegal entry without noting his persistent requests for more federal funds. Well, I don't understand why y'all want to give money to people that don't live here and pay taxes here, but the ones that do, that request $1 billion, you reject. Wow. And then they said he was critical of the Biden administration. Well, so what? So if somebody criticizes you, you won't help them? Is that what it is? Well, y'all y'all going to be striking off a lot of people. There's many people that criticize the Biden administration. Eric Adams is far from the only one. So, ladies and gentlemen, New York has reportedly been approved for $8 million. He said that's not enough. With the amount of people that are coming into New York, it's not enough. Does the Biden administration have plans to increase funding for New York and other cities, especially in conjunction with the new parole program? Jean Pierre said there would be enhanced federal funding for cities without direct committing to fulfill the full ask of Adams. I just can't believe. Never mind. Yes, I can. I can believe it. I can believe it. Okay, so as the Department of Homeland Security announced yesterday, we are indeed increasing funding available to border cities and those cities receiving influx of migrants, Jean Pierre said vaguely. In addition to strengthening ongoing coordination and collaboration across all levels of government, DHS, is also expanding outreach efforts with the cities to provide coordination of resources and technical assistance. She went on. We have indeed facilitating coordination between the state and local. I think you've heard us say this before, state and local officials and also other federal agencies, but any specific on the funding to New York, I would refer to Homeland Security. You know what, y'all? This right here should be an eye opener of how they do not want to help American citizens in this country when dealing with illegals. So, if you live in a city and you want help, the Biden administration is pretty much thumbing their nose at you. They don't care that you got an influx of illegals because ultimately it's going to be the general public dealing with this whole thing. You may think, no, yeah, it is. It's going to be the general public dealing with these folks. And wow. So he needs 1 billion and Joe Biden is giving him 8 million. Well, why don't you just give 8 million to Ukraine? How come you don't offer them 8 million? It's unbelievable. In fiscal 2022, which ended September 30th, nearly 2.4 million people were arrested attempting to cross the border, many of whom were allowed into the US to await asylum rulings. An unknown number of other migrants evaded arrest while crossing the border. So, New York City's largest amount of migrants they took in was 10,000 migrants. And most of them came from chartered buses by El Paso Democratic Mayor Oscar Leeser from August 2021 through October. When New York said it couldn't take any more, another 4,900 migrants were sent to New York City by Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott from August through December in protest of Biden administration border policies. There is no room at the end, Adams said Tuesday in response to Colorado Governor Jared Polis, a Democrat planning to send migrants to New York City. So he's getting it from a couple of different states. Under the new Biden administration parole program, announced Thursday, 30,000 asylum seekers per month will be allowed to enter the U.S. from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. The applicants must pass a background check and have a U.S. sponsor. And according to the Biden administration, citizens of those four countries who attempt to cross the US Mexico border won't be allowed to remain and will henceforth be banned from the parole program. Mm-mm-mm. So the program was imposed upon Venezuelans in October, despite their relatively obvious asylum claims of political persecution, resulting in tearful deportations of families and scuffles at the US Mexico border. Roughly 90,000 people from the four countries were arrested at the border in November, the most recent month for which nationally, so what they're trying to do is gather data on these folks. And my thing is, how do you know you're even getting accurate data? I mean, these people technically can give you a fake name. and y'all know some of these children come completely unaccompanied by an adult. How do you know you're getting real data in the first place from these folks? Mm-mm-mm. So they're suggesting roughly one third of the cohort seeking to enter the US will be allowed to do so under the new policy. That is contrast with a much higher admittance rate for people who have been illegally crossing the border, some of whom may be applying for asylum and seeking a better life without specific fears of political persecution. Official data indicate that just 29% of people who illegally crossed the US Mexico, border in November were deported under Title 42, with most of the rest allowed to wait for asylum verdicts while remaining in the US. So I guess Eric Adams is going to have to make do with his $8 million. He can't get $1 billion because $1 billion that in their minds is supposed to go to Ukraine. So he doesn't have that. So you're going to have to keep taking these folks that are being piled into New York and do the best that you can to stretch $8 million. And that's something. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.